If you earn $150,000 a year, you probably think you've made it. Upper class, top of the ladder. And in some parts of the country, you'd be absolutely right. But in others, that same salary doesn't even get you out of the middle class. What almost nobody factors in is that your income class isn't determined by your paycheck alone. It shifts based on a formula most Americans have never heard of: the state you live in, and how old you are. Change any one of those three, and your class position can flip completely. At the end of this video, you'll know the exact income that separates middle class from upper class in 2026, broken down by state and by age. And if you've ever wondered where you actually stand, the answer is probably not what you'd expect. So how does anyone actually draw the line between middle class and upper class? There are a million opinions out there, but the standard that economists and researchers keep coming back to is from the Pew Research Center. They've been tracking American income classes since the 1970s, and their formula is surprisingly simple. Start with one number, the national median household income. That's the exact midpoint where half of all American households earn more and half earn less. According to the US Census Bureau's 2024 Current Population Survey, that number hit $83,730, an all-time high. Pew's formula works like this. If your household earns less than 2/3 of that median, you're classified as lower income. If you earn between 2/3 and double the median, you're middle income. And if your household brings in more than double the median, you're upper income. Run those numbers. 2/3 of $83,730 is roughly $55,800. Double it is about $167,460. So nationally, the middle class stretches from around $55,800 all the way up to $167,460. That's a span of over $111,000. Think about what that means. You could earn $60,000, or you could earn $165,000. And by this formula, you'd sit in the exact same income class. Both of you are middle class. Both get the same label on the same surveys. And somehow both are supposed to share the same economic experience. To cross into upper income territory nationally, your household needs to clear $167,460. That number might feel low if you live in New York. It might feel impossibly high if you live in Arkansas. And that gut reaction is exactly why the national number alone is useless. Because the real picture shifts dramatically once you factor in two things almost nobody talks about together: how old you are and where you live. Income doesn't stay flat over a career. It follows a curve. It rises through your 30s and 40s, peaks in your early 50s, then starts to decline heading into retirement. The Census Bureau tracks median household income by the age of the householder, and the differences are huge. For households headed by someone aged 25 to 34, the median income in 2024 was about $90,100. For 35 to 44-year-olds, it jumps to $106,100. Peak earning years hit between 45 and 54, where the median reaches $116,800, the highest of any age group. Then the slide begins. For 55 to 64-year-olds, the median drops back to $91,620. And for those over 65, it falls all the way to $56,680. So why does this matter for figuring out your class position? Picture two households, both earning $120,000 a year. Household 1 is headed by a 30-year-old. The median for that age group's $90,100, so they're earning about $30,000 more than the typical household at their stage of life. Compared to their peers, they're well ahead, and they have 35 years of compounding runway in front of them. Household 2 is headed by a 50-year-old. The median for their age bracket is $116,800. That same $120,000 barely clears the middle. Compared to peers, they're average. Their income growth curve is already flattening. Retirement is 15 years away, not 35. Same paycheck, same grocery bill. Completely different financial reality. The salary didn't change. The context around it changed. A 28-year-old earning $95,000 is ahead of their generation's median. A 52-year-old earning that same $95,000 is actually $22,000 below the median for their age bracket. Apply the same doubling formula to each age group's median, and the upper class threshold changes at every stage of life. For the 25 to 34 cohort, it starts around $180,200. For 35 to 44, it jumps to $212,200. At peak earning years, 45 to 54, it hits $233,600. And for the 55 to 64 group heading toward retirement, it drops back to $183,200. The national class calculators don't capture any of this. They compare you to every adult in the country. Your actual financial health is measured against your cohort, and the math looks very different when you factor in time. Now layer in geography. When you apply Pew's 2/3 to double formula to individual state medians instead of the national median, the class brackets move by tens of thousands of dollars. Start with Mississippi, the state with the lowest median household income in the country at $59,127, according to the 2024 American Community Survey. Apply the formula. Middle class in Mississippi runs from about $39,400 to $118,250. Upper class begins at $118,254. If your household earns $120,000 in Mississippi, you've crossed the line. You're upper class. Now look at California. The median household income there is $100,149. Middle class stretches from about $66,800 all the way up to $200,300. Upper class doesn't start until you pass $200,298. That same $120,000 that made you upper class in Mississippi puts you right in the middle of the pack in Los Angeles. A few more states to put this in perspective. In Texas, with a median around $79,700, upper class starts at roughly $159,400. In New York, with a median near $85,800, the line sits at about $171,600. In Colorado, it climbs to $194,200. And Massachusetts, which has the highest state median in the country at roughly $104,800, doesn't consider you upper class until you clear $209,600. Think about what that means in practice. A household earning $200,000 qualifies as upper class in 45 states. But in Massachusetts, California, New Jersey, Maryland, and Hawaii, that same income is still technically middle class. 5 states where $200,000 doesn't get you past the middle class ceiling. Same career, same talent, same salary, different state, different classification. And the gap between the lowest upper class threshold at $118,000 in Mississippi and the highest at nearly $210,000 in Massachusetts is about $92,000. That's not a rounding error. That's almost an entire second salary separating the two ends of the same country. If the data draws these lines so clearly, why does nearly everyone in America still call themselves middle class? A 2024 Gallup poll asked Americans to classify their own economic status. 54% said middle class or upper middle class, 31% said working class, 12% said lower class, and only 2% said upper class. 2%. Meanwhile, Pew's income data classifies roughly 19% of Americans as upper income. That means about 17% of the population statistically qualifies as upper income, but doesn't see it that way at all. 3 things drive this gap, and they're worth understanding because they affect how you make financial decisions. First is comparison bias. You don't compare your salary to a census chart. You compare it to your coworkers, your neighbors, and what you see scrolling through Instagram. If everyone in your world earns about what you earn, you feel average no matter what the data says. You're not comparing accurately, you're comparing down. Second is the confusion between income and wealth. A household bringing in $180,000 a year sounds wealthy on paper. But if that household carries a $400,000 mortgage, $80,000 in student loans, and has $12,000 in savings, nobody in that house feels rich. Income is a rate. Wealth is a stock. They are not the same thing. The Federal Reserve's survey of consumer finances found the median American family's net worth is about $192,700. The mean is over $1 million. That enormous gap between median and mean tells you a small number of extremely wealthy families drag the average way up, while the typical family has far less. Third is what I'd call the comfortability trap. Once your household income crosses into the upper middle range, the financial anxiety fades, bills get paid, retirement contributions feel real, a vacation doesn't cause financial dread, and that comfort is precisely what stops the next move. You're earning upper middle class money and spending like it, without converting enough of that income into assets that would make the classification permanent. The comfort feels like progress. The math says you're standing still. So here's where this whole conversation flips. Whether you're technically middle class or upper class by Pew's formula might actually be the least important question you can ask about your finances. Income class is a snapshot. It tells you where your household ranks right now. It doesn't factor in your debt, your savings rate, your investments, or whether your income is heading up or heading down. A 35-year-old earning $140,000 in Columbus, Ohio, with zero debt and a maxed-out retirement account is in a fundamentally different position than a 35-year-old earning $140,000 in San Francisco with $200,000 in student loans and $3,000 in savings. Same income class, same label. One is building real wealth, the other is running on a treadmill. The label tells you where you rank. Your habits determine whether you move. Are you saving consistently? Are you investing the gap between what you earn and what you spend? Is that gap growing every year or shrinking? The upper class threshold is a moving target. In Mississippi, it's $118,000 today. In Massachusetts, it's $209,000. Those numbers will shift with inflation and housing costs over the next decade. Chasing a line that keeps moving is exhausting. Building systems that grow your net worth regardless of where the line sits is how you actually get ahead. So if you want to know exactly where you stand, here's a quick framework you can use right now. Look up your state's median household income on the Census Bureau website or Smart Assets Calculator. Multiply it by 2. If your household income is above that number, you're statistically upper class in your state. Then check the median for your age group to see how you compare to peers at the same stage of life. But the step that actually moves the needle is the one after that. Regardless of the label, ask yourself whether you're building wealth or just funding a lifestyle. Because the real question was never, am I upper class? The real question is, am I converting income into something that lasts? If this breakdown gave you clarity, hit the like button so more people can find it, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone who needs to see where they actually stand. Now, this video answered the income question, but income and wealth are not the same thing, and the gap between the two is where most people get stuck. Check out my other video on the exact net worth you need to be upper class. Understanding where you stand is step 1. What you build from here is what actually determines your trajectory. This is MindCraft, where ideas become action and action becomes your future.